Hey everybody, Alex Kazor, SteelersDepot.com, back for another video breakdown and recap of the Steelers' Week 2 victory over the Denver Broncos 26-21. Steelers moved to 2-0 on the season, a little too close for comfort at the end. The Pittsburgh Steelers, as they are wont to do, will leave and let teams hang around a little bit longer than you like and give yourself a heart attack, take 5 years off your life, and then come out with a victory. And that has been the MO for basically ever if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. So while that is not the best feeling to have, it's not an unusual feeling, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and recap this game. Starting with the offense, I would say that Ben Roethlisberger wasn't as good or as sharp as he was against the Giants, though I would argue the Broncos have a slightly better defense than New York, although the Broncos had some rookie cornerbacks the Steelers certainly exploited. But I would say that Ben had some unben like plays, and I thought he was at his best, and this is obvious, and it's where he's been at his best for so long, although he's not backyard Sandlot Ben anymore. But he was at his best whenever he was able to get outside the pocket. I thought the interception he had to Justin Simmons, which was just a really poor throw, and he admitted it after the game. It was obvious. And there was another throw that he had that was intended for Benny Snell that got tipped and then caught by JuJu. Both those plays were really clean pockets. Ben had plenty of time, but he was just very static in the pocket. And he's at his best when he's changing the launch point, causing the defense to move and plaster. And usually someone loses and he finds someone open that way. And that's what happened on the Deontay Johnson touchdown that was really crucial. Late in the second half of that one. So Ben was at his best when he was being more of the classic Ben type thing. But overall, I would say he played well enough at least and certainly had some impressive throws to 84-yarder to Claypool. That's a great play by Claypool. We'll talk about that here in a second. But man, how about that throw? He's got a linebacker free up the B gap. He takes a shot and he just threw a dime to Claypool, who does the rest and finds his way in the end zone. So overall, man, it just was good to have Ben back making some Ben like throws. And you got to give credit to the offensive line. I thought they were much better than last week. We'll have to check the tape. It's usually hard to get a great feel for the offensive line watching things live, but certainly communication was better, less pressure, less interior pressure, and he had some new faces at right guard and right tackle with Kevin Dotson, the rookie, his first career start in the core for his first start of the season, third of his career. And so the line just I thought was a better as a unit overall. Fewer just blown assignments and missed blocks and stunts that weren't picked up and free rushes and stuff like that. So overall, I thought it was a lot better and certainly good enough to win this one. Good to see James Conner bounce back 100 and something yards that he had in this game. His highest average ever at 6.6 yards per carry. I think 16 for 106 is what he finished with, obviously aided by that 59-yarder to kind of ice it on the Steelers' final drive there. And so he was the guy for sure. He was the guy early and often. Benny Snell had that fumble, which was, of course, disappointing. And certainly it's not going to help him try to have that future back role. So as long as James Conner's healthy and available, I know that's always fleeting, but when he's on the field, James Conner's going to be the guy. In the receiving game, Deontay Johnson, he can be a bit of a hot and cold player. I tweeted that out during the game and the first snap of the game. I think it was he has that fumble on the jet sweep attempt, but man, he's special. And if he can just be a little more consistent with his hands, with his overall ball security, he's now got 7 fumbles in 18 career games. He's going to be a really special player because he's electric. It's rare that the first guy brings him down. The punt return got called back. He can make some great catches too. I mean, his hands aren't bad. It's just it needs to be a consistent focus and attention to detail type thing is what I can kind of gauge as the issue with Deontay Johnson. But he's a lot of fun to watch, and hopefully he's gaining some trust and chemistry with Big Ben, and it appears that they are. JuJu, another quality game, not really flashy, but physical, hard nosed, hard edged game for him. Very classic JuJu stuff. So he's off to a really good start in year two. And then Claypool had the 84-yarder and just the nose for the end zone. And just, I don't know, it felt like and he was going against a rookie corner too. So it wasn't like he was going against their top guy, some 8-year vet. But whenever he caught that ball, I thought he was going out of bounds. And he just kind of glided the rest of the way to the end zone and just pulled away, just made it look easy. I mean, he's just such a long strider, great speed, just a physically freaky dude. So great moment for Claypool. Had at least two, maybe three special teams tackles, including the opening kickoff of the game. So he's kind of being making an impact in offense and then special teams as well as a gunner, which is kind of what we expected. So really good to see a well-rounded game from Chase Claypool very early in his career. For the defense on paper, it looked very good. 7 sacks, 2 takeaways, a safety. I mean, it's the last time the Steelers did that was 1954, according to Pro Football Reference. And now, obviously, there were some things that weren't as positive. A lot of penalties. Some were deserved, some were not. But they got to clean things up at least on some of those cases because there were a lot of PIs that were close plays. Some of them were ticky tack for sure, but there were some pretty obvious ones as well with the Steelers had an aggressive blitzing attack. Mike Hilton with a sack, T.J. Watt with a couple sacks. I mean, they were just across the board. It's nice that these sacks aren't coming from just one or two guys; they're coming from the entire defense, and that has kind of been the hallmark of this. Dick LeBeau, Keith Butler, coach Pittsburgh teams for a long time now. So Hilton just got great timing off the edge, and they bluffed on the Terrell Edmonds sack, which was the fourth down, which was the play of the game, at least to end that one. They bluffed Hilton coming from the Broncos' left side and brought Edmonds from the opposite side, and he was unblocked and came in. So nice job to schematically change that up as well. So a lot of pressure. Drew Lock exits the game to bring in Jeff Driscoll, so they do less rollouts and stuff on the move, which I'm sure is what the Steelers were kind of centering their game plan around. So it was not perfect. Noah Fant got the better of Devin Bush in the second half, no doubt about that. But the mark of a defense today, because offenses will move the football. It's just how it works, even with bad quarterbacks. I mean, the way that how crisp and the details of the schematics of offenses and the rules, of course, are set up to favor offenses. So unless you're the Jets, you're going to move the football. It's just how it is. But a defense that can win situationally, third down, red zone, and ones that can get pressure and most importantly take away the football, which this defense can, are the ones that are going to win out in the long run. And so that's what you saw on display today. And quickly for special teams, again, Claypool, couple of tackles so that the unit was better than what Denver had. Of course, Denver had the drop punt that led to the safety. It was really an unforced error, I believe. But Boss was solid. You got a big return from Ray McLeod. And Deontay, of course, had the near 81-yard punt return that was called back by penalty on Cam Sutton, unfortunately. But overall, pretty good there. And so I was happy with that, especially after a pretty poor performance from that unit overall in week one. So to wrap things up, why was this game close? I mean, the Eagles were poor on third down. They were 2 of 10. They had 10 penalties, and they turned the football over. You had the Snell fumble, the Ben pick, and that allowed Denver to hang around in that game. So it was a lot of Steelers beating Steelers more so than it was Denver making great plays. I mean, credit to them. Gordon ran well, and Fan had some plays, and JuJu, the rookie, looks impressive, and Driscoll came off the bench and hung tough in there. But it was those factors really were the reason why this game was a lot closer than it should have been. So that's disappointing for sure. But either way, you get the victory. Move to 2-0. You'll face Houston on Sunday. They are currently down 20-10 against Baltimore, early third quarter. When I'm recording this, I hope the game's probably finalized by the time you guys are actually watching it. But 2-0, and you'll take it. And this defense again looks special with its pressure packages, ability to take away the football. The offense is still not all the way there, but it's close. Certainly a lot better than where it was last year. And right now, if you can be just an average to slightly above average offense with this type of defense, I know again defense not perfect either, but a really good defense with an average to above average offense, you're going to win a lot of games, including Sunday against Denver. So those are my thoughts on the Steelers' Week 2 victory. Again, they'll play Houston on Sunday, 1 o'clock at Heinz Field. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Anything I did not touch on you think I should address. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, we'll talk to you soon.